That's gettingcrafty.net. We're just watching for here to make sure we're watching to make sure everything is clicking on. So if you guys are joining us live, can you give me a shout out and where are you at? So we usually have people who join us from all over the world, which is such a blessing. So if you're joining us, what channel are you streaming on? Yes. And then also, it's asking me a question online. Also, where in the United States or the world are you? We have a lot of people who join us from my Canadian friends all the way to my friends from down under and more. So it's always fun to see where everybody is coming from. And while we're doing that, I'm going to pop over and make sure, I see that we are live. Can you hear me on Facebook? Doing that. Yep, you sure can. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Okay, so I love that so much. And we are going to share that. We have, have you guys ever been crafting and it just kept, took a life of its, Okay. It took a life of its own. I did not expect it to do what it did tonight. I had a whole different vision, different completely, of what we were going to be creating, and it wasn't working out. So it's all about pivoting. And I was recently talking to my friend about pivoting in life and with my thoughts. Your thoughts are your number one struggle in this world. So there we go. And then I need to check I was checking Facebook. Now I need to check YouTube. You guys on YouTube? Oh, that's not what it's called. I'm making up names at this point. Hi, Hilda. Hi, Nicole from Wisconsin. Nice. Upstate New York. So I have friends and family in Clifton Park, New York. And that's where when we go to upstate New York, that's where we go. So it's really awesome. My family's trying to convince us that we want to move to upstate New York. And I'm fine. I don't ever want to move again. Moving is hard. It's not worth it. It's almost not. It's not true. My cousins there are freaking amazing and I adore them. So it would make it, and they are so good to my children and so it's really, and Susan, nice to see you. Hello, sister. And so it is always tempting to go to where family loves and appreciates and takes care of you and does all that good stuff. But I escaped California. I'm not seeing myself go to any other states where there's a lot more regulations than are necessary, right? Do you guys know what I'm saying? Do you? It's okay. We don't get politico here. I remember, hi Deb, nice to see you, my angel. Okay. There we go. It's all the messages are coming in. Now, so the card I was creating today, I had a vision and the vision was not coming into play. But I also had a very busy day. I had one of our contractors out working on some stuff and just doctor's appointments for my daughter and I. And we have some really good, hopeful news on that. And then this Sunday is my daughter's 19th birthday, which is amazing because 19 years ago I was holding a brand new baby while stamping for the first time leading a class. And so life has been a beautiful journey and I'm just so grateful for it. And we've been blessed with some great doctors and some great stories that have been happening this week with some genuine hope. Anyway, back to creating these cards. So I'll tell you a little secret. My cousin was here from upstate New York this week and we were having lunch and I love him so much. One of the reasons I love my cousin Alan is that we have a lot in common. Sometimes I think I'm the craziest one in the family and he's like, nope, I'm the same way. And so that was so cathartic for the heart for him and I. And we really appreciate that. And usually when my kids are going through something and I'm like, is this inherited? And he's like, yep, I had that. It's so great. I love that. And he's a great listener and he's a great, not only does he listen, but he can process with you. And that's what I'm an oral processor. So big surprise. Anyway, we both were admitting we don't like puzzles. We don't. We can do them. We don't like them. And so tonight's card became a freaking puzzle. And I was laughing, going like, didn't I just talk to Alan about that this week? And so I'm going to show you, but we're not going to do one card. We have 3 cards that came from the one card selection. And this became 2 hours of designing and pivoting and playing and that kind of thing. So not exactly what I thought I was going to be doing, but I love, love, love the 3 cards that are resulting from it. So are you ready? Are you ready? Go ahead and comment. Let me know. I'm going to have a sippy of water. Okay, so this is the main card right here. We're going to be using one of my favorite free for a limited time designer series paper called Blooms of Impression. What's it called? It's so pretty. Bloom Impressions. I was right. Bloom Impressions, and we're going to really feature all of those bold and bright cards, colors and combination, and I love, love, love how bold this is. It was a very gray day today in Indiana, and we had rain the last 2 days, and I don't mind gray and I don't mind rain, except for rain means my dogs, and I have a really big dog and I have a medium dog, but my dogs like make huge messes and I'm like, oh, like I don't have one more thing to do, but that's okay. Rain is very freeing. It also washes away the snow, which I don't like. I love the snow. So that's it. But from here, I wanted to pivot and I created little baby hearts. So this is our cart from there. Hi, Ellen. And then this is a 3rd card from it. And I can't tell you which I like more. This reminds me of my friend Ina. She's a very simplistic stamper, but she is usually has a pop of really fun, bold color. This here is a little bit more flash and dash like myself. And it has a little bit of this quilted pattern full of beautiful insightfulness there. And then this here is the over-the-top stamper that I just love so much. And we're going to show you how I created this. Now, this is my secret. You're going to want to design 6 cards at once because either that or maybe you have a better method. If you have a better method, can you comment? That will save my mind. But I made one and whew, was it hard? Like initially, but once I got it down, I was like, oh, okay. First of all, I cut things wrong and that was what screwed me up the first time. So there is that. Once I fixed that, we were all set. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to lay these cards down. I'm going to grab the board that I used to cut all of these things. I cut them ahead of time because 3 tries, and I could not get it right until the end. So happy. Oh, Connie. Hi, honey. I miss you. Mwah. Come over soon. Okay. And we're going to do this. If you have a method, and actually knowing Connie's on here, she might very well have a method. She will look at this and kind of figure it out. And I think, Connie, don't you like puzzles, if I remember correctly? I think you liked puzzles. Again, I'm not a puzzle person. That could be my dyslexia. That makes it really hard with placement, things like that. Anyway, let's go ahead. Instead of talking to you about it, let's create it. Okay, we're zooming down. I'm moving my lappy topper. And I'm bringing over my cut pieces. Whoop, whoop. Now, we're using this just because I was cutting it in a different area and laying it out and had all my bits and pieces. And this is the card we're going to create. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so hold on. There you go. Okay. I'm making sure that we see all the comments. While we're talking, I'm going to put my hair up really quickly because I need to hear better, which is so stupid, but that's so true, isn't it? Ugh. I can't even verbally hear you. Maybe it's just processing extra hair. And then I actually had on I had a black sweater on today and this got covered in dog hair, but I wanted bold color when I was creating this with you guys. So I threw on my bold colors today. Now, I will blog about this tomorrow. Did not expect to spend this many hours creating this and messing up. And if you saw like my sheets of mess ups, I'm going to use them. I'm not afraid. I just have to play with it. So we have our pieces here. And then we also are going to have we have our 12 by 12 designer cardstock. So I created these little 3 by 3 cards, which is a 3 by 6. And then I have our card bases and I'm looking for where I put my, here it is. And I tend to do this. I put stacks on things and move them around. So that usually works for me. And then there's times where I move that stack and I have no idea what I did. So I have these pieces of basic white cardstock that I've cut down. And what we're going to do is So we're going to kind of lay them out because that's the only way my, oh crackers, things started falling. Hold on. Hold down. Yep. There goes that. And there goes that. And there goes that. Things are falling because everything's tilted. It's like a tilt-a-whirl ride. Not my favorite ride. Okay, so we're going to lay out, I think we need 6, but we might need only 5 now since I created one. This, again, is the inside of the die cut that you'll see there, and it creates the most beautiful little quilted heart with a dash of flash around it with our textured, shiny specialty paper. And then there is this, and such an elegant and pretty little looking card full of color. One of my friends is expecting a baby girl, and I thought that something like that would be really sweet for my sweet Alexis and her baby girl on the way. It's actually Alex, not Alexis. I don't know why I called her Alexis. Alex. Jay and Alex, they are such good friends to us. They live here, but they're actually from California. And actually where we were, we had a resort property in California. So there was that. Now, I have all these bits and pieces right here. And the only way that works is if I can put this to the side and not tilt it too much. Okay. Because I can't figure it out. Can you guys, there has to be a method. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the pieces and just lay them out because they're stacked when I cut them. And they're stacked when I cut them, so I make sure that I have, they fit together. I can't cut them apart and then put them together. They don't work well that way. So what I do is I stack them and then I cut, and cut. And if you saw, I basically just went across and down the center to create that. So yes, we only need 5. We're going to come here and I'm going to move that 6th one because distractions. Each card will be slightly different. And I almost called my Genevieve up here because she's actually really good at puzzles. She likes them. And which she's dyslexic, so obviously it's not just the dyslexia. And then this one matches too much there, so let's we get to play with the patterns. And we're just eyeballing it, you guys. It's already super bold, and all these colors are designed to work together. And if you are worried that it's too much, it's not comfortable, by breaking it down, by doing all the... Where did my cards go? They're underneath of this board. I'm not going to move it. Is crafting like this with me all the time? Yes. And I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not. Enjoy the ride. That matches that, so let's come over here. And am I worried that I'm not perfect? No, I'm not worried. I'm an A-type hippie. Have you guys ever heard of that term? I described it to a friend of mine before I met her, and she's become one of my dearest friends. We were part of a homeschool community, and I was talking to my friend Sabrina, and I had a phone interview with her so that we can get to know each other. And you're like, phone interview? Yeah, we didn't know each other. She was coming in and leading, and we need to know, meet each other. And so we ended up having an hour-and-a-half long conversation about who we are and what our vision was for the year for our homeschool community. Because even though you homeschool, you can also be part of communities, which is such a beautiful aspect of that. You're never alone when homeschooling. And same with crafting. I'm here crafting with you guys. I'm hi. What size were the square? Oh, the square cards, Hilda? They're 3x3 cards. Is that what you're asking me, sister? Hold on. Trying not to drop anything. So these are 3x3s. And that means it's the 12x12 cardstock that we use for scrapbooking primarily. And then you get 9 cards, I believe, out of the whole one sheet. It's pretty fabulous. So they become 3x3 cards, which is 3x6 scored at 3 inches. And so we're going to stick this here. Can you see that? I'm looking at my picture. You can. Okay. So those are the cards that were our inspiration. And you can see how I kind of took down some of that pressure by doing it this way. Now I'm sliding Xingzhou, and we're just kind of laying out the puzzle. You didn't know, and I didn't know, that you guys and I were going to be creating a dozen cards today. And we're really not. We're not. It may feel like we are. And I don't really want to duplicate patterns too close to each other. So that's where I kind of get to play with how this comes out. There's that and that. This is too matchy. We're going to go there. And honestly, even if they're a little bit close together, this is really similar, but they're different sheets. I'm not worried. And there will be, no, the pieces you're using. Oh, yeah. Hi, Hilda. So that there is, I have them, I started the blog on my blog to give you guys all the measurements. So the white and the designer series paper are the same size. Can we measure it at the end? Let's not lose track. And I'll tell you, sister, because you've been on with me enough to know. If you lose Jamie down a rabbit hole of thinking, good Lord, don't do that. My ADHD brain goes, dude, we want to... Oh, there's 3 yellows on that one. We don't want that. And there will be duplications on these cards. You just want to space them out so that they're not maybe like there's the 2 yellows there. It is what it is. There we go. Awesome. I was literally just thinking of making some small square cards. So this is video's perfect timing. I'm so loving that. That's divine appointment, sister. Divine appointment. Uh-oh. That one goes here. Boop. And then there's a purple there, so we don't want to put that. But there's the purple there. So how about we throw this purple here? We don't have 2 yellows here, so let's just do that. Let's take that pink one, throw that there. And then this one goes here. This will have created 6 cards because we're taking 6 pieces of paper. Now, Hilda, do me a favor, sweets. Can you remind me at the end of this live, like as we're wrapping up, that I need to get you the measurement? And I can just look it up really quickly. We'll just pull it down. But you know me enough, sister, that I could get distracted anywhere. You've been on enough of my lives. Now, if you guys haven't heard, we have booked our crafting cruise, and we already have a ton of people interested. It's so freaking awesome. I'm working to earn a trip to take my family to Alaska with Stampin' Up. Last time I took my family to Alaska, I was only able to take my husband, and this year I would like to earn it and take all of my... Yes, God is in the details. He sure is. Now, I see you are you for repeat too. Can you tell me your name so that I can like call you by the name? Other people have it like as their name. So are you for repeat? Tell me what's your name, sister. Okay, so we have this here. I'm not going to design all 6 with you tonight. I'm just not going to. So we're going to pick one, and they're so pretty, it doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is we're going to slip and slide and hope I don't screw up too much. So we're going to pick that up. Rue! Oh, that makes sense. Hi, Rue. How do you do? Okay, so... this is a little bit probably more time consuming than even putting the pieces down. But I don't want them to go slipping and sliding, Rue. Okay. So our crafting cruise is booked for August. August 18th through the 22nd, or is it? Yes, I believe that's what it is. We have to just look. Again, details, y'all. Details mean I have to focus. Things are slipping. Okay, we have this fabulous piece right here. Now we're going to build off of that. Let's take those bad boys there. Let's take all of these. And this is really what I'm doing. I just grab a platform and I put it down because quite honestly, if I moved it to the side, it would all get screwed up. Hi, sister. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's do this. And I'm coming back. I just put it on my desk. I have a desk to the side of my workstation. Now, I'm going to give you guys one of the best tips ever. It'll save you tons of money. You can get it on like Marketplace or Craigslist or wherever you buy your stuff, neighborhood websites, whatever. Okay, this is a baby changing station that I use. And the reason I use a baby changing station to stand and craft at is it's the perfect bar height. So you can get a bar stool to sit at it. And I have a little turning workshop one, like a shop turning one. Ooh, let's just put that to the side for a second. Always, my friends, start on an edge so you can build from there. And you can stand at it without hurting your back. The reason being is it's designed for you to be changing your baby. So it's right there. And it makes it easy. Boom, 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 boom. This is a project if I were sitting and watching TV with my family, I would do it then. Except, I have to be honest with you, my puppy is a Great Pyrenees and Burmese mountain dog. So he's huge. That's what that translates to. He's a big pup. Big. And his tail swishes through the air and then like things go flying. So I might do this at the dining table while everybody's watching TV and I wouldn't be too far away if I wanted to spend time with my fam. Bam, bam. Now, if you get glue schmear, just roll, and it comes off like that. And then at the end, I'm going to show you one of my other little tricks. Now that I have a steadfast corner, I can build off of that. So honestly, Hilda, you could do any measurement that you end up wanting to do. Did you know that? For this, you can. And the reason I say that is we're going to go up to the corner here. Right there. We'll get it as close to the edge as possible. And guess what? Even if it's not perfect, I can trim the edges and nobody will know that we screwed up. Because I screw up all the time, my friends. All the time. I am not a perfect stamper. But sometimes the best mistakes are the most beautiful things that you create. And what was I saying? Baby changing station. And you can get them cheap because once people are done having babies, they sell very inexpensive, these baby changing stations. Sometimes they have a little back bar. You just remove the pad that's on it. And then it has great storage underneath of it, like these cubbies. And I have baskets in it. And I put all kinds of stuff in there. And I have and it's open storage for where you would put your diapers and stuff. So that is my most advantageous thing. I think I picked up this beautiful, and it's solid wood. It's not pressed wood at all. It's gorgeous. And it might be an antique piece, quite honestly. It's so pretty. But I think I picked it up for $40. Somebody wanted a real dresser for their kids and they just wanted to get rid of this baby changing station. So good storage underneath is a must. My friend Monique took my old one in California and she made it into a coffee bar in her kitchen. So there was that. Very sturdy, Rue. You're right. It's designed to hold a baby and all the accoutrement that goes with it. And this is wider than maybe the average, which I am not sad about. Probably because you would put your wipes and stuff on it. But built to last and the perfect height. Now this is where we get puzzly. Keep turning. We put together a puzzle and it's it's the simplest puzzle ever and I'm super excited about it. Hi Linda, nice to see you. Save to rewatch. Let me know what you think, sister. Okay, so we have this. Now I wanted it to continue the bright vibe, so I grabbed some Daffodil Delight. So this is, I know what this measurement is. Are you ready, Hilda? I'm going to let you guys know. It's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now, that's because I wanted a grounding frame to go with it. And I want to show you why. Let's grab one of the cardstock bases. And I want to show you the difference to having a frame and not having a frame. And I'd love for you guys to comment and let me know what you think is better. Because we can pivot. If you don't like having a frame, I can remove the frame. And because there's so many colors in here, I wanted to celebrate when spring comes. I wanted to bring a little bit of sunshine. That's why I went with that Daffodil Delight. One of my favorite yellows in the Connect collection for Stampin' Up. So this is our beautiful quilted piece right here. And if we were to put it just on a card, I think it's pretty. There's no shame in this game at all. It's really lovely. But I want you to see the difference. Once you put a little frame on it, right here. It's not glued down, but look at that. Isn't it just add a little something, something to it? I love it. And so that extra frame is always worth doing the good stuff. Now, we have my die from this heart-shaped collection that we have that's free with Stampin' Up! Right now. And I've already die cut ahead of time so that we have stuff ready to go. Because it's live, and I have a second live that I'm doing tonight with our Getting Crafty family. I love that my Getting Crafty family gets to go on the crafting cruise and save tons of money and take my classes for free, but they also get their Lush discount. And they are some of my favorite people, but we do 2 lives every single week because of that. So let's grab my cut and emboss machine. Lay her out. Now, this is what I really love about this cut and emboss machine, is that you have a sturdy machine that can collapse down, and I can use it over and over and over again. It stores great, and it's not heavy. I have some amazing crafters in my life, and I use just a sticky note to hold it right where I want. Right there. Let me see here. The frame is like wearing an earring or not. It's okay if you don't, but if you elevate your look when you do. Oh, perfect description, Rue. Oh, thanks, Linda. I think it makes it pop too. And you can pick any color that's in that collection. And what that will do is that will feature that color. The yellow in that card now pops more. And I also wanted to stamp with the bright melon mambo that is in the designer series paper. So I thought yellow and pink look so pretty together. Why not? So we are. Okay, I'm going to put this away because I do have some of my die cuts already done for us. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to show you some of the stuff I was doing when I was originally designing it. So this is where I like to get really careful, you guys. You want to pull back and don't lose your die. Then you have this piece that's die cut right in the center. Take your time to carefully pull it out. It's all of the bits and pieces of paper that are commingling, but not all one cohesive look. First of all, that is a beautiful quilted flower. Just stunning. But I want to separate it. Keep it separated. Dun, 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 dun. That's a song. Not everybody knows that's a song. Maybe you do. Maybe I'm not as disconnected as other people think. First of all, that might be my favorite thing ever. I love it. All the pops of floral, all the pops of color. I think it's so chic and aesthetically pleasing. But I have this, and I love it. It looks like a heart ninja. It's a ninja star, but it's a heart. Okay, so that's where I wanted a little dash of flash. So we're going to throw that in there like that. That will be. But I wanted to show you what I was doing. Here, I want to trim off the little white that might be peekabooing around. Why not? Our paper trimmer makes it really easy to do that. Here we go. And we're just going to trim off the smallest portion. And I want to make sure it has a nice clean look. I see a little jagged down there. You can use your paper snips to cut that. You can do a lot of different things. Like if you don't want that little, right there. Boom. Then I used the Shamrock. Now, I like the name of that. Honestly, Shamrock is a fun color. It's a great bold green. Here, we're going to tuck the pieces into their happy little counterpart hole. And again, it's like doing a puzzle. All the little pieces go together. So first of all, I think this is fun and bold. And I want to tell you, there's a lot of options that you can do. You could, if you didn't want to make that extra card, put that in the middle. And I love this look as well. What do you think? I think it's super pretty with that like just inset heart. You could change that green and you could make it with, don't tear anything, y'all. You could put the dash of flash in the middle. And I think that's equally as like fabulous, right? And you can leave it that way, or you can put the quilt back in. And that reminds me of like when people carve hearts into trees and you get that look. I think it's super pretty. It's possibly, even though it's a dash of flash, it's a little more subtle. Like, don't you think? Because it's tucked into the pattern. So pretty. So I'm going to go back to my original bold look. So there's options on that, my friends. But we're going to use the Shamrock. So let's go ahead and, oops, I know what I was doing. Stop. Hammer time. Okay, we're going to put those little pieces back in because they're as snug as a bug in a rug. And I don't know why my family just lets the dog bark down there. Especially since one of my daughters is trying to go to sleep early. And I'm going over the little leaves. Not heavy-handed, my friends. By going over, like the back here, you're just going to get a dash of that. See how that looks? Don't be heavy-handed with our liquid. Love the black. I do too. And it's actually not black. It's this silver pewter in our textured specialty paper, Linda. So it's super pretty. But it has like this grounding vibe to it. Like it's a dark enough color to pull down. But it also picks up the blues and the purples in the paper. It's so pretty. I think we overlook it. And it has a really fun texture. So it gives us a little nod, like you might have seen last week, to the vintage with that texture that's on there. There's like a little bit of linen pattern that goes through it. Then we have this here. And then we're going to grab the Melon Mambo Inkset pad. That heart-shaped greeting. My thoughts of you are all heart-shaped. And we've talked. You guys, I want to send all of my girlfriends that I can a Valentine's for Galentine's this year. I want women to feel seen, heard, and loved. Let's see if I can move this away. The other two small ones I don't have greetings in at this time. I did kind of just put those together at the end. And then I did this one kind of a flat card. I'm just going to throw in the multi-purpose liquid adhesive on it. Again, why they let my dog just sit down there and bark is just mind-boggling. My husband's there too. I just don't ever understand. So if my dog barking, you guys can hear it. I'm super sorry. I'm assuming you can. That would be my puppy. His name is Reese's. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And the joke with that is that we can't have peanut butter anymore because we're allergic. We used to. And so there's that. So this is that one card right there. We could keep embellishing. We can keep adding on, but there's a lot happening with this card. Really is. Then I'd like to take my embossing buddy from our embossing kit. There's tons of glue on this, my friends. Just kind of pat it. I want to make sure that that stickiness gets absorbed in and does not become a problem. And that's just a great little talc bag. I used to sell it to women that did bowling because it was smaller for a woman's hand, and I guess the bowling ones are big for men. So there's that. Carol used to order that for me. Carol Dufree. Okay, there is that. Isn't that pretty? But this is our next two cards. Super easy. We're just doing little this one here is 2 3/4 inch squares. And then I have an azul blue and a melon mambo. And those are 2 7/8 each. And then this is the cardstock base from our scrapbook paper. And that is a 3x3 card. And it becomes a little, it's 3x6 scored at 3 inches. It makes me happy too, Linda. You know what? It celebrates, we can bring in bright, bold colors and florals and joyful things, even in the midst of the winter, right? There you go. I love doing Christmas and July cards because often when I get to the holidays, I'm drowning. Yeah, it's true. And then... aren't we all? And then I also really love sometimes celebrating the different season than what you're currently in to remind you of like what blessings we have that are before us that are coming. Let me see if I can grab some dimensionals here. I did the little cards with dimensionals. I do not mail 3x3 cards. I just don't. They make great cards to put with a gift. And because we're going to do a baby shower for my free sweet friend Alex, she's expecting baby girl number 2. And then my friend Liz is expecting baby boy number 1. So I could do a baby boy card. I could even do the hearts for him. I think this one would be more like the boy card and this would be the girl card. And it's just a little layer, you guys. It's not hard. I go down either 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, those kind of measurements for like mindless crafting. And then I get to use my homeschool math. So then what I do is I count all the little bars to make sure I have the right measurements. And it's like 14/16. And I was like, oh, wait, I need to use my math and that I teach the kids all the time. And we simplified it. So it became 7/8. So there's that. That's that azul blue. Then we have our little pieces here. Put your little puzzle back together there. And I think that really grounds and gives it a sharp outline to that inner piece. I think it looks really nice, don't you think? And a little dash of flash there. And it does have a pewter-ish look, which is kind of neat when you think about it. Again, this is like how I do this. When I do puzzle piece die cuts like this, I'll come in and I'll just kind of go across the back very lightly, little ziggy-zaggies. And if you're worried about the outer leaves, you could totally do that too. And then put that down in one of the middles here. You could slightly elevate it if you wanted to put a saying underneath of it. I like to let it say its own thing. Like, it says so much with all the color and pattern and texture, and I'm not wasting anything. I'm using all the bits and pieces. Use your scrap paper up in order to put that together. It's like super happy. Then this is that. Isn't this magnificent? I just love it. It takes my breath away. So nice. So we're just going to take that there, and we're going to just dab. Just do little dots. Like, just get it on the tip of your multi-purpose liquid adhesive and just kind of dab in. That might be the most time-consuming of it. It's not time-consuming either. Like, you don't have to even like shmea. You just dab. A dab will do ya. Isn't that what was a dab will do you? Is that oil of Olay or was that a dish soap? Can you guys remember? You can tell I'm a child of the television era. Of course I am. We knew all the commercials, didn't we? It's funny. I don't know the ones nowadays because I don't watch TV. But my daddy loved TV. Loved it. Yes, it's a great gift bag edition. Exactly, Linda. And so we're going to stick that there. And I happen to think this is pretty. I could have sponged or blended brushed behind it in one of the colors to really accentuate that. But I wanted to incorporate the new beautiful Daffodil Delight satin ribbon. It's a real fine little ribbon, and it's super pretty and shiny. And again, I think yellow is a happy color. Like, it just, I've always wanted a yellow house. And my aunt, I think it's because my aunt's house was my favorite house to go to as a kid, besides my grandmother's. My grandmother's was white with blue trim. My aunt's was yellow with white trim. And so I would go to Aunt Dee's house, and I would dream about owning a yellow happy house. That's what I dreamed about, you guys. Isn't it funny? So when we moved into here, we were going to paint the front door because it's a brick house. Bly cream. What does that mean, Kathy? Bly cream. Oh, that's the name of the brand. I don't remember that name, but that would, Brill cream. Just a dabble, do you? Is that the kind we used for cleaning, or is that the kind that was for your face, like moisturizing? I just remember the line from the commercial. So funny, Kathy. I was like, what? Okay, double check the way your card's opening if that's particular. I believe Stampin' Up! Also still has the 3x3 envelopes that come with that. Then we're just going to take this. This is easy, my friends. We're just going to do an itty bitty bowl. We could take and grab that fork, which is still sitting up here with me. My daughter was bringing me dinner tonight, breakfast burrito. Thank you very much. And she was like, why do you have a fork up here? And I was like, no, that's my ribbon fork. She's like, my mother's lost her mind. And I was like, yep, she has. Not a surprise, y'all. I like building the ribbon outside of putting it on a project. And then it can be as fluffy and shiny as we want. Men's hair. Ah, I do remember that. A little dab will do you. Yes. Okay. That's, yep. And it was like the pomade, right? Like it was a pomade style. Isn't that funny? Okay, my friends. When I use the dimensionals, I put the skins on there so then I can just toss it into the trash. But there's something about this, it's a little like sticky still. And so it holds your bits and pieces. So that's just a little tip and do ya. Then we're going to grab the last of this. We are running late. Thanks for sitting with me through 3 cards today. Well, if you think about it, we had 4 more that we still can create, which will become 3 more, 4. That'll be 12 more. We could create 12 more cards. I am not doing that tonight, but I love you. I rolled that glue dot into a nice little thing, and I'm going to put it on the bow. And then I can place my bow anywhere, and I can make it look like I tied it to the heart. Right there. Right there. A little fluff will do ya. And you came away with a little quilted heart with a dash of metallic flash. A very simple watercolory, bold heart there. Isn't that pretty? That might be my favorite, surprisingly enough. And then there's this here. And the quilted look. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you love it? Also, did you guys see when I dropped that there onto my glass mat? It's one of the reasons I love having a glass mat. The size of the square. Yes. So Hilda, I did say that, but I'll say it again, sis. Are you ready? The white square and the designer series paper square, they are the same size. So you'll end up cutting them so that they match, right? I'm using the chamois that came with this for cleaning my mat. And now my mat has no glue and I didn't get it on my wood. Isn't that great? So it's ready to write it down, girlfriend. Here we go. It is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. That's all. And then the Daffodil Delight on behind it was 4 by 5 1/4. And this is a standard A2 card right here that opens up just like so. I think it's a happy, happy spring-filled card. What do you think? Which is your favorite? Is it the blue, the pink, or the yellow? That's the question I have for you guys. Hi. I'm about to pop off to my second live for Getting Crafty family. If you ever want to save on all of your supplies and get all the free stuff, it's one of the reasons I joined 19 years ago. Let me know. I'd love to help you guys out with that. Make a little side money. It's awesome. If you want to join us, know the pieces. So the pieces, these were cut all the same, Hilda. So I hope to do a video tomorrow where I do a remake of the pieces for you. I layered on top of each other 6 pieces of the Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper, 3 3/4 by 5. And then I proceeded to cut them from corner to corner and then in half and half and then in half again. That's really all I did. So if you look, it was corner to corner, corner to corner while they're stacked on top of each other. Boom, 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 boom. And then we just have these little divides. So you have that already set. It's like corner to corner and then cross. And that gives you all your pieces. It's surprisingly easy, even though I have a tendency to make things more complicated. Ask my husband and kids. Okay, I love them all, Kathy. So hopefully that answers your question, Hilda. I'll do a mini video of me cutting it. I just was messing up enough that I didn't know if I would have time to do it all and blog, and I didn't get it to blog. So that'll be tomorrow too. And I'll have those videos loaded for you, sister. Hopefully you'll get to catch it on my blog. If you guys ever want to join us, the upcoming crafting cruise is coming your way, and I'd love for you to join us in August. And we're going to be going from Long Beach, California to Catalina Island, Ensenada, Mexico, and back. And we have a ton of craftings that will be occurring while we are at sea. We have dinner plans, we have themes, we have raffles, we have prizes, and we have more. So I hope you will join us for the next live that we do and some upcoming videos. I appreciate you guys joining us now. Go ahead, create some love and share it with the people in your life and give some encouragement to those around you. A handmade card is really a beautiful piece of art that's a hug in the middle. Thanks for joining us. God bless.